As we age, the idea of solitude can transform from something we fear into something we cherish, a source of peace, freedom, and personal joy. For many older adults, there comes a moment when they begin to sense that living alone might be more fulfilling than the busyness of shared living arrangements. Whether it's the quiet calm of a space that's entirely yours, or the unhurried pace that brings contentment, the signs can start to become clear. If you've ever wondered if it's time to embrace this path, you're not alone. Countless stories and shared experiences suggest that more and more people are choosing the unique independence of living solo. For those considering it, these 12 signs can help guide you in deciding whether it's time to celebrate the beauty of living alone. So, let's dive into each sign, take a look, and you might just find yourself saying, yes, it's time. And before we jump into these points, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content on life's journey. Sign number 1. You crave peace and quiet. As we reach a certain stage in life, the sound of silence starts to feel like a gift. More and more older adults find that, after years of family life and constant activity, they crave the calm that only solitude can offer. Living alone becomes an opportunity to nurture a space filled with tranquility, a sanctuary where one's thoughts aren't interrupted by the bustle of others. Take Margaret, for instance, who recently turned 60. She shared her story in an online community, describing how much she adores her grandchildren but feels drained by the constant energy and noise whenever they visit. I love them deeply, she wrote, but there's a moment, when they leave, where I feel such relief. Like I'm reclaiming my own world again. Margaret realized that, for her, peace was not just a luxury but a necessity for her well-being. If you, too, find yourself treasuring the quiet moments when your surroundings are still, and you feel at ease, this may be your sign. Living alone could give you the chance to shape an environment that feeds your spirit. A space where every corner radiates calm. Perhaps, in embracing this lifestyle, you can create a life that brings true contentment, where peace is not a temporary escape but a permanent home. So, if the idea of returning to a quiet space feels like a relief to you, it might just be time to consider a life that's beautifully your own. Sign number 2. You enjoy your own company. As we age, many of us find a new friend in solitude, a companion that doesn't need conversation, validation, or attention. It's a shift where we begin to find joy in our own presence, in the gentle rhythm of our thoughts and routines. This journey towards self-fulfillment often reveals that being alone doesn't equate to loneliness, rather, it becomes a powerful form of companionship. Consider Thomas, a man in his 70s who recently discovered his love for gardening. He shared his experience on a community forum, explaining how his time in the garden became a sacred ritual. It's just me, the soil, and the quiet hum of nature, he wrote. I don't need anyone else there. I've found a peace I can't quite put into words, a steady contentment in the simplicity of planting and tending. For Thomas, it was during one of these tranquil mornings that he realized he didn't need a roommate or a household full of people to feel satisfied. Finding fulfillment in your own company can be immensely liberating. It opens a door to self-discovery, allowing you to pursue your own interests and embrace the beauty of the quiet moments. Living alone could give you the chance to honor this solitude, a space to engage in activities you love, free of distractions. For those who feel complete in their own presence, life alone might not only feel sufficient but also wonderfully abundant. If you're someone who finds peace in your daily routines, who feels at ease with your thoughts and your space, perhaps it's time to explore the fullness of a life lived in harmony with yourself. Sign number 3. You set firm boundaries and prioritize your well-being. As we grow older, many of us become more attuned to our personal boundaries and recognize their essential role in maintaining our health and happiness. Unlike in our younger years, when we might have compromised more readily, reaching a point where you uphold these boundaries is a clear sign that living alone could be the best way to nurture yourself. If you find yourself increasingly unwilling to sacrifice your comfort or well-being for others, it may signal that it's time to create a space solely dedicated to your needs. Take Liz's story, for instance. In an online video, she shared how her once peaceful home had become a stressful environment after her adult daughter and grandchildren moved in temporarily. Although she loves them deeply, the constant disruptions and clutter began to weigh on her mental and emotional health. "I realized my peace was slipping away," she commented. The late-night noise, untidy rooms, and general loss of privacy made her realize that she needed to prioritize her own well-being. Living alone gives you the freedom to create a space that fully respects your boundaries. A place where you don't have to compromise your peace for others. For someone like Liz, making this choice is a powerful statement about self-care and prioritizing her health above all else. Creating a sanctuary where you have control over your surroundings and routines can be an immensely liberating experience, allowing you to focus on what truly matters to you without the emotional or physical disruptions from sharing a home. If you value your boundaries and understand that honoring them is essential to your happiness, a life lived independently could provide the sanctuary you deserve. Sign number 4. You're ready to take full control of your space and time. With age often comes a growing desire to shape our lives on our own terms. And part of that involves controlling our environment and daily schedule. For those who have spent years sharing a home with family or roommates, the appeal of setting their own rhythm becomes increasingly compelling. Living alone provides the unique freedom to decide exactly how each day unfolds, from the little details to the big decisions. It's not about rejecting loved ones but rather about honoring a deeply felt need to live life fully on your own terms. Consider a reflection shared by a 65-year-old on an online forum. He had spent decades compromising over everything from what time dinner was served to how tidy the house had to be. Even down to the TV programs everyone watched together. He wrote, "I love my family dearly, but I was ready to experience life exactly as I wanted it." Moving to a space of his own meant he could finally enjoy the autonomy of his choices without needing to reach a consensus or fit someone else's preferences. Living alone grants you the chance to design each moment of your day in harmony with your desires. From deciding on the music to start your mornings, to choosing the perfect layout and decor that reflect your personality, and even setting boundaries around when to welcome guests, each choice is yours. This sense of independence can bring immense satisfaction and fulfillment, especially for those in later years who see freedom as a priority. If you find joy in the thought of crafting a life that flows entirely according to your preferences, embracing the opportunity to live alone could provide that empowering experience. Sign number 5. You've outgrown the need to be a full-time caregiver. After years or even decades of caregiving, whether for children, a spouse, or aging parents, you may find yourself at a stage where you're ready to focus more on your own needs and desires. This isn't about disregarding the importance of family or love, it's about recognizing that a season of prioritizing others has passed. And a new one has begun, one centered on personal growth, self-care, and freedom. One woman on a Reddit discussion shared her experience after her husband's passing. She wrote, "I love my family deeply, but I realized I no longer wanted the role of full-time caregiver. For once, I was ready to prioritize my own needs and dreams." The sense of liberation she described echoed a broader sentiment among those who, after years of caregiving, feel ready to put themselves first. Living alone can offer the time and space to reconnect with what makes you feel alive, allowing you to explore hobbies, improve your health, and foster a deeper relationship with yourself, instead of always being on call for someone else's needs. This is a chance to fully focus on your own, with no guilt or obligations weighing on you. If you're someone who finds yourself yearning for that freedom, the decision to live alone could represent a powerful and fulfilling new chapter. Embracing this change can bring a refreshing sense of renewal, allowing you to pursue a life shaped by your own aspirations. Sign number 6. You want to age on your own terms. Aging independently doesn't mean you're destined for isolation, rather, it signifies the freedom to shape your life according to your preferences and pace. For many older adults, the thought of aging in their own space, without the constant presence of others, offers a sense of peace and control that's deeply fulfilling. Consider a comment shared by a man on an online forum. "I want the freedom to decide when and how I ask for help. I don't need my children or anyone else hovering around. I'm capable of making choices for myself. And living alone allows me to preserve that independence." His words highlight a common sentiment among those who treasure autonomy, an innate desire to be the ones steering their own lives. Choosing to live alone can empower you to maintain that autonomy, allowing you to arrange your home in a way that truly suits your needs, and giving you the ability to decide how support is integrated when necessary. For those who highly value self-determination, a solo lifestyle can provide not only the comfort of familiar surroundings but also the privilege of calling the shots on how you live each day. If you find comfort in the idea of directing your own path and ensuring that any support you seek comes on your own terms, living alone could very well be the most rewarding choice. Aging solo allows you the freedom to shape your environment and routines exactly as you see fit, with the peace of knowing that your life is fully yours to guide. Sign number 7. You're ready for a fresh start. Living alone as an older adult can signify an exciting new chapter, a chance to reinvent yourself outside the expectations or routines you might have adhered to for decades. If you feel it's time to embrace a fresh perspective, living on your own could offer the space and freedom to do just that. Imagine the story of a 67-year-old man who shared his journey on an online forum. I lived in the same house for over 30 years. After my wife passed away, I realized that staying in the same place with the same habits wasn't what I wanted. I moved to a smaller apartment, started taking art classes, and found the fresh start I needed. For him, living solo was a doorway to a life he hadn't yet explored, with time and space to pursue interests that felt personally fulfilling. Living alone can give you the blank canvas you need to paint a life of your own choosing. No longer constrained by long-standing routines, you can explore hobbies, try new activities, or build a daily rhythm that truly suits your passions and dreams. It's never too late to begin a new chapter, and for many, living solo offers the ideal opportunity to step into that chapter with renewed enthusiasm. If you're ready to embrace change, chart new paths, or even take a leap into the unknown, a life lived solo might provide the sanctuary you need to explore and rediscover yourself. After all, the freedom to reinvent and set your own course is a gift that can bring lasting joy at any age. Sign number 8. You're craving minimalism and simplicity. As we grow older, the desire to simplify our lives often becomes a strong and persistent pull. It's no longer about collecting things, but about creating calm, meaningful spaces that bring us peace. If you find yourself overwhelmed by clutter or the bustle of your current living arrangements, moving to a smaller space and embracing simplicity might be the breath of fresh air you need. Consider a story shared by a woman who embraced minimalism in her 70s. I realized I'd been holding onto too many things that no longer fit my life, old furniture, souvenirs, and even relationships that drained my energy. When I moved to a place of my own, I pursued a simpler lifestyle, fewer belongings, fewer obligations, and more time to focus on what truly mattered. For her, downsizing and simplifying brought a renewed sense of peace and clarity, a feeling she hadn't experienced in years. Living alone offers an ideal opportunity to let go of the excess, whether it's physical possessions, outdated commitments, or emotional clutter. This journey toward minimalism can be liberating, allowing you to focus on what brings you happiness, health, and peace. When you clear your surroundings, you're also freeing up space in your mind, making room for new insights, dreams, and priorities. So, if the thought of shedding the unnecessary and crafting a life of simplicity resonates with you, living on your own may be a fulfilling next step. In this quieter, more intentional lifestyle, you can create a sanctuary that truly reflects who you are and what you value most. Sign number 9. You're ready to make decisions without compromise. In later years, many of us realize we've spent a lifetime negotiating, be it with a spouse, children, or roommates. Every decision, from what's for dinner to where to vacation, has often been a shared one. But there may come a time when you feel a yearning for something different, a desire to make choices that reflect your own needs and dreams without the need to compromise. One woman shared her journey to this freedom, after years of always considering others' preferences. From the meals we had to the music we listened to, I finally found myself in a space where I could decide everything on my own terms. I get to pick the color of my walls, the playlist in the background, and even how I spend my weekends. It's liberating to make decisions solely based on what feels right for me. Living alone can empower you to reclaim this autonomy. It's about fully stepping into the freedom to create a life that truly resonates with your preferences. From the smallest choices to the big ones, having this level of independence can feel deeply fulfilling, offering a sense of control and self-alignment that's both refreshing and comforting. If the idea of making decisions without negotiation resonates with you, living on your own could provide the ideal environment to do just that. It's an opportunity to shape a life where your values and preferences are at the forefront, giving you the freedom to express who you truly are, free from compromise. Sign number 10. Embracing emotional independence. Emotional independence can be a powerful indicator that living on your own might be the right path. As we age, we often become more attuned to our inner world, finding that we no longer need constant emotional support from others. Instead, we grow resilient and cultivate self-awareness, learning to navigate our feelings without external validation or reassurance. One person shared their experience on a forum, saying, "For years, I felt like I needed someone around, whether it was my kids or my spouse, to feel emotionally grounded. But over time, I discovered that strength within myself. Now, living alone brings me joy because I trust in my own emotional resilience. I can process my feelings, find peace, and no longer rely on others to feel whole." When you reach a place where your emotional well-being isn't dependent on anyone else, it opens up a world of personal growth. Living solo can provide the perfect environment for this emotional freedom to flourish, giving you space to understand and manage your feelings in your own way, on your own terms. This independence can be incredibly fulfilling, fostering a sense of self-reliance that brings both peace and confidence. If you find yourself comfortable handling life's ups and downs alone, living independently might be the ideal setting for you to continue evolving emotionally. It's an opportunity to nurture a deeper relationship with yourself, where you are the foundation of your own emotional strength and stability. Sign number 11. Focusing on personal growth and self-discovery. For many older adults, living alone can create the ideal setting for self-discovery and personal growth. After years spent fulfilling roles such as parent, spouse, or caregiver, the desire to explore who you are beyond those identities often becomes stronger. Living independently offers a unique opportunity to reconnect with yourself, providing the mental space and time to dive into hobbies you've set aside, rediscover passions, or simply reflect on the next chapter of your life. One woman in her late 60s shared her journey on a forum. "I spent so much of my life focused on others that I forgot what made me truly happy. Once I started living on my own, I picked up painting again and felt like I was reconnecting with a part of myself that had been buried for years. Living alone gave me the freedom to explore that side of myself without worrying about anyone else's needs." Living independently is more than just solitude, it's a chance to fully immerse yourself in the process of self-discovery. Without the distractions or responsibilities tied to others, you can take the time to nourish your interests, pursue new adventures, and create a life that feels true to who you are today. This period can be a beautiful, enriching time to shape a life that resonates with your personal values and desires, allowing you to live authentically and with renewed purpose. Sign number 12. Embracing your own routines and flexibility. As we age, the importance of establishing personal routines and schedules often becomes more pronounced. Living with others typically requires a level of compromise and adaptability to align with their timetables. However, when you embrace the opportunity to live alone, you gain the freedom to design your daily life according to your own energy levels and preferences. Whether it's waking up early for a refreshing morning walk or staying up late to dive into a captivating novel, the power to shape your day rests entirely in your hands. A man in his early 70s recently shared his journey on a forum, expressing the joy he found in creating his own routines after moving into a place of his own. He reflected on the pressure he once felt to conform to his family's schedule, from dining at predetermined times to engaging in social activities that didn't always align with his desires. "Now that I live alone," he wrote, "I eat when I'm hungry, rest when I need to, and sleep when I feel tired. It's invigorating to have a routine that's entirely my own. This newfound flexibility not only allows for a more authentic lifestyle but also encourages a deeper connection with your own needs and desires. If you find joy in setting your own pace and adjusting your day according to your feelings, living alone can provide the ideal environment to cultivate a life tailored specifically to you. You have the chance to explore different activities, try new hobbies, or simply enjoy the luxury of spontaneity, free from the constraints of anyone else's schedule. This autonomy fosters a profound sense of empowerment, allowing you to craft a life that resonates with your individuality and aspirations. Living alone in later years is not an act of isolation, it's a powerful reclamation of your personal space. A journey toward embracing your own peace and independence. If any of the signs we've discussed resonate with you, it may be time to welcome this new chapter in your life with open arms. I've encountered countless individuals in online communities who share the joy and fulfillment they've discovered through solitary living. For many, it's a transformative journey of self-exploration, an opportunity to focus on their own needs and passions in a way that may have felt impossible before. If you find yourself yearning for tranquility, relishing your own company, or seeking greater control and autonomy in your life, consider that the possibility of living alone might be exactly what you need at this stage. Trust in yourself and recognize that prioritizing your happiness and peace is not only acceptable but essential. This is your time to thrive, to cultivate a lifestyle that nourishes your spirit and reflects who you truly are. I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's create a space for connection and understanding. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to help us reach even more wonderful people. Thank you for joining us on this journey.